don't know if you noticed, but a new camera release from Panasonic. I don't have any necessary thoughts on it specifically, but just cameras in general. And before anybody gets too butthurt, just to let you know, I'm recording on the S9 right now. So I have a Panasonic camera. I'm invested in Panasonic slightly. But I just want to talk about that camera a little bit. Not necessarily that camera itself, but just cameras in general, YouTube in general, blah, blah, blah. So if you don't know, what you probably do, the other day, a new camera was released. It's the Panasonic S1R2, I believe is the name of it. But I have my YouTube subscription so locked down anymore, I barely even knew that a new camera had come out. In fact, only one video popped across my homepage there because I've pretty much locked everybody out. And the reason that is because I suffer from FOMO. I don't so much suffer from gas, it's FOMO that I suffer from. And I found that, watching 15, 20 videos on the same thing really is not mentally healthy for me. So I've unsubscribed for a whole bunch of those channels and put don't recommend on there because I just truly do not want to see it. Like I say, it's just not mentally healthy for me. So anyway, the one video that I did see was from Petapixel. And I think they do a pretty good job of keeping things down the middle. They don't try to over sensationalize anything. To me, it just doesn't seem like they're trying to push a camera on you. They're just giving you the facts as they see them, which is fine. Anyway, I watched about 6 minutes into their video and they had mentioned that pretty much you're going to get 9 to 10 frames a second out of the new Panasonic camera with tracking and bit depth and all this and that. So right then and there, I knew the camera pretty much wasn't for me. I mean, I already have my cameras, all Sony cameras, they're about 9 to 10 frames a second. And I'm not looking to stay in that range. If I upgrade to anything, it's going to be because I want something faster, frames per second wise. Now you can go up to 40 frames per second with mechanical shutter, but the readout's so slow that if you're inside under artificial lights, you're definitely going to get banding, you're going to get rolling shutter, all that kind of negative stuff. I'm not going into all that stuff. In all practicality, you're in the 9 to 10 frames per second category, which is not where I want to be. So camera's not for me. But I continued to watching the video, and it was kind of weird. Like 25% of the video, roughly, is photo stuff. Not a whole lot to say there, new sensor, blah, blah, blah. And then 3/4 of the video is video related stuff, which I thought was odd because this is supposed to be the new photo camera they have coming out. I think that we might be at a time to where companies are releasing cameras to be overhyped by YouTubers. I really think that might be where we are or where we're headed. And what I mean by that, if I was living in Oklahoma and I was a photo and video guy, outside of YouTube, how would I even know that camera existed? I went to the main camera shop in all Oklahoma the other day in Tulsa, and they have another one in Oklahoma City, and they had 0 Panasonic cameras down there. None. When I go to events, I've been to hundreds and hundreds of events where professionals are taking photos and videos. I've never seen a Panasonic camera at any of those events. It's all Sony or Canon, and sometimes it's Nikon. But outside of Sony, Canon, Nikon, that's it. That's all you ever see. So I think that's why the S1R2 is so crazy video heavy, is because that is the only way to get these YouTubers to even talk about it, to get hyped up about it. That's just my opinion. I don't know. But I'm sitting there looking at what I do a video, and half that stuff doesn't apply to me. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like it wouldn't make any difference to me what kind of video specs it had because I wouldn't use half the stuff that's in that camera. So anyway, I knew the camera was just not for me right away. But I still see just a lot of carrying on about it. Video after video, reactions, people talking about the camera, blah, 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 all this and that. And I think that that's kind of what Panasonic is going for. I think that they want that kind of attention towards the camera. Good, bad, negative, whatever. If it's negative, if you see a lot of negative comments about it, at least they know that people are going to those videos and watching and commenting about it, So I really think that we're in the era of making cameras specifically for YouTube and YouTubers and YouTube discussion. And one thing you kind of see a common thread throughout all of them is value for money. Like, this camera's so good, the value is so great for the money that you pay. And that's a code word to me. That's a code word that things aren't as good as maybe what they should be. I just don't think that when you're talking about $3,300 or $3,500, you shouldn't be talking about that. You've passed the value mark, you know? When you're talking about the S5 II, the S5 IIX, you can get it for like $1,500, $1,800. Now we're talking value, okay? You get up to $3,000, $3,500 range. We're past the point of value, in my opinion. If you're looking at a camera that expensive, you should be getting exactly what you want out of the camera. There should be very to little, no compromises, in my opinion. And I really think that YouTubers, they receive all this free stuff. And I'm not saying that they should pay for any of it, because to do videos on it, they had to have the product, so they should get the stuff for free. I'm not criticizing that at all. And I'm not criticizing them doing whatever they have to do to make the money. Absolutely not criticizing that. But I think that they get desensitized to going and ordering something online and pulling out your credit card and dropping $3,500 on a camera. I just think that they have become desensitized to that. Just like a doctor telling somebody they're sick. After about 500 times of telling somebody they're sick, it just doesn't have the same impact as it did the very first time you tell somebody you're sick. So I think that's become maybe where some of the viewers and some of the YouTubers, they aren't connecting. And I think that's where the battle is being waged, you know? And it's sad to see, but I really think that that's the main problem with it. And speaking of the value part, like, you know, you see a lot of, well, it's a great camera for the money, blah, 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 all this and that. And it's just like Windows computers. Yeah, you can get a much, much, much better computer, specs-wise, from a Windows computer. There's no doubt about it. However, and it might be the best value between it and a Mac, but I don't care what happens. I'm not buying another Windows computer. I'm sticking with that Mac. I'm paying the Mac tax because that's what I'm comfortable with, and that's what works for me. So I don't care what kind of value you're getting out of a Windows computer. I'm not buying it. So that's kind of the way I feel about the cameras. Yeah, it might be a great value, and you might get this and that and all these different specs, but in the end, I'm going to stay with what works for me. Oh, and another thing, them Lumix fanboys, Lumix seems to be the line in the sand for everybody. Like, you talk bad about a Lumix camera, and the Lumix fanboys go absolutely crazy, like you're, you know, talking about their mom or something. It's absolutely crazy. And then on the other side, everybody who's not a Lumix fanboy, they just go crazy bashing on the Lumix cameras. It's just nuts. The tribalism around Lumix cameras is just, you know, one way or the other is just absolutely insane to me. I mean, it's just nuts. But hey, everybody's different. Everybody's going to shoot what they like, and I guess stand up for what they, you know, want to use. But wow, I mean, it gets downright dirty out there, bro. It gets dirty out there. Anyway, that's just a brief look at the kind of where I think things are in the camera YouTube world. I try to stay out of most of it because it just really doesn't matter to me. I have pretty much everything that I need or want. Like I say, the only thing that I could possibly want is a Sony camera that shot like 15 frames per second and had all the video specs of, you know, what I currently have. I don't know if that's too much to ask for or not, but hopefully maybe like the A7 V will have some of that. Maybe the A7 R6, whatever they come out with. I'm so invested in Sony glass, it would take a nuclear bomb to get me to move from them. So just my thoughts on it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.